Hey, this is Sasha, and thanks for joining me in today's video. Now, today what I'd like to do is share with you the 5 common mistakes most people make in the real world when it comes to their money or their finances. So let's get started. All right, so let's break down these 5 things. First, you have emotional choices, you have money not working for you, you have your short-term focus, there's no growth focus, and your personal self. So the first one is emotional choices. Many people go broke or they're making financial mistakes because they make emotional decisions, whether that's the way that they spend their money or they're just the way that they choose to live their life on a day-to-day basis. So say, for example, you're making choices based on keeping up with the Joneses or keeping up with your friend. Because your friend went out to a $500 concert, then you decide to do that as well. And that's kind of an emotional choice because you wanted to still feel connected. So that's kind of one of the first issues that people have. Sometimes it's a coping mechanism, so that way you feel better about yourself. If you're having a bad day, you might go out and buy a pair of shoes, buy some other things, but it's an emotional decision to help you cope with some problems that you may be having. The second thing is money not working for you. So many people, you're not going to start at the top. Right? You're not going to have a whole bunch of net worth right at the top. Most people, they start out somewhere at the bottom and they have a job. You get a job and your net worth slowly grows over time. So along these lines, right, you'll have money that continues to grow. So at the beginning, you might have a little bit of money, then you might have a little more money, and then you might have even more money. Now with time, if you're getting a job and you're saving, your net worth continues to slowly grow. And that's fine and that's great. But what happens is now you could take this money and capital actually and allow this to kind of work for you to allow it and continue to grow. And many people don't do that. They don't invest. It doesn't matter whether you invest in real estate, gold coins, stocks, bonds, whatever it is that's your personal taste. But what does matter is that you take your money and now rather than leaving it in a bank, you're looking for some kind of growth externally so that you can accelerate that growth process in the future. And that's usually in the form of investments. For other people, what they do, most people, they just stay in their job and they continue to save and they have their money in their bank account. And that's why their growth is a lot slower. So if you go ahead and invest it, your growth curve will accelerate much faster. The next thing and the next issue is short-term focus. So when you're looking at your lifestyle, many people are focused on short-term, especially when it comes to money and finances. Part of this has to do with money not working for them. This is the growth part because they're not thinking about that. But the other thing is they only look at it, okay, what can I afford right now? So you could look at it like a monthly payment. This is what most people who don't have money do. They look at, okay, right now I'm paying $800 a month with all my expenses. If I get a new car, it's only another $300 a month. So that'll put me at $1,100 a month. Can I afford that? Well, yeah, I can afford an extra $300 a month. So they go out and buy a new car. That's, $35,000 because it's only a handful of payments a month. But you have to look at the long term. If you look at the long-term focus, now this $35,000 car, along with the money you could have put into investments, could have actually, right here, becomes a $45,000 car after interest. But imagine you took this $35,000 and put it into your investments. Now, instead of $35,000 or $45,000 compounded over 20 years, could have been, let's say, $350,000 over many, many more years. So anyways, that's what most people do is they focus on the short term. They don't focus on the long term. They look at that short term, what can I afford monthly? They don't look at, okay, what's that car going to cost at the end when I'm done paying with it? What's it going to cost me? A lot of this has to do with the psychological, emotional decision that people are, hey, an old car, it's not going to look that great. It's not going to be that shiny. My friends might not like it. They get into this weird feeling. The other issue also happens to be the emotional choices. Well, hey, I might break down on the side of the road. I might have to get a hotel, call AAA. So for that extra hour of your time or paying a couple $100s for a hotel and spending the night in another city, you're going to pay $350,000 more. Think about that for a minute. So anyways, this kind of ties together. And the same thing goes along with retirement, focusing on what you're going to do at the end of your job. Okay, so what are you going to do when you retire? How are you going to build that retirement? Many people don't focus and look at that. Next thing, number 4, is no growth. Okay, again, getting back to this growth concept, people are focused on just being stable and comfortable with where they're at. They're not looking to improve in their career and growing in their career. They're happy coasting with where they're at. They just focus on the stability factor, but not continue to improve. Okay, you're not growing your financial nest egg. So that's what I want you to start thinking about. Where can you grow rather than where are you staying stable? So again, can you go ahead and reduce that car payment so that you can grow your money in another way? Always focusing on growth. What are the things that appreciate in value over time? What are the things that depreciate in value over time? If you're buying a new cell phone, chances are it depreciates over time. If you're buying rare stamps or coins, chances are it appreciates over time. Same thing with real estate. So look at that. What are the things that are appreciating? What are the things that are depreciating? And that goes with that purchasing factor, but also internally for growing, like your career, growing your business. Many people within their business, if you have a business, okay, and you're looking to evolve your business, a lot of people get caught into this cycle of doing the administrative tasks over and over again. So they go ahead and, let's say you own a regular brick and mortar business. They go ahead and clean the toilets. They go ahead and check the inventory, do the accounting, but they're not focusing on the things that grow their business, like marketing, like connecting with people or their employees or their customers. They're not looking at creating new products or building that inventory up so that people have more choices within their storefront. So again, focus on growth, okay? You see how it ties into everything. And finally, the last thing I want to share with you is the personal self, which also happens to be more so about growth. Many people don't invest in themselves, just like when you should invest in money here to invest it and grow that money. Many people don't invest in yourself. So this one you could say invest in me or yourself. So you don't build up your education in terms of what you can do to go ahead and buy a house better priced. What can you do in terms of expanding your job? But this also goes along with personal self in terms of confidence. How do you grow your personal confidence so that when you do go out and buy a car, how do you negotiate better? So all those things actually come together. Personal self-investing isn't just about how to manage money better. It's also about those negotiating skills, about that confidence, all those kinds of things that allow you to really just evolve in life. Investing even in your health so that you can live a much longer life. So these are some of the bigger point perspectives, as at least the money mistake side. But remember, take these things further and deeper, not just on the money side of short-term versus long-term focus, but look at your own personal health and your own lifestyle and how that applies as well. So take these things and go a little bit deeper beyond just what I've mentioned here. All right, so thank you for joining me in today's video lesson. If you're interested in seeing other great training material as far as money goes, building your business, starting things up, and just growing yourself personally, take a look at my website at backstageincome.com and be sure to get on the newsletter list by clicking this button right here. And when you get there, enter your name and email address and you'll get notified as I release other great free training material. Thanks again, and in the end, remember, do what you love, contribute to other people, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.